Hi, I'm James, and this video is going to be about making a super simple sausage roll. It's great for Boxing Day. So we've got some lovely sausage meat here, like a stuffing mix almost, and some Branston pickle. You could use loads of different chutneys, but it's really nice to add it to it. So like an apricot jam or an onion marmalade, something like that would be really, really nice to go through it. So we'll just do 2 nice big spoonfuls, and then we're just going to really mix it in well so it's completely gone through all of the sausage meat. And it's just going to act, this is already seasoned, this sausage meat, but it's going to act as a flavour enhancer because as that pickle there or chutney, it's got everything in it that we want to go through to season our sausage roll. So the other things we need are puff pastry. If you've got a square block, most supermarkets sell them like that rather than the rolled ones. Just roll it out to this sort of thickness, so about 1.5 millimeters. Nice even rectangle or a square is fine. However long or thick you want your sausage roll. We need a fork. We need some egg wash. Now, if you've got one of these, which some people might, it's really handy. It's a lattice cutter. So we can decorate the top and make it, extra special. But if you haven't, not to worry. You can do it by hand, or I can show you how. Show you how that lattice works. But this is really, really quick, really easy recipe that just takes no time at all. But when it's on the table, certainly the following day, or if you're having a party or something, or on Boxing Day, what this is for, it's a really nice centrepiece, a bit of a showstopper as well. Just with a few simple techniques, it's a really easy way to enhance something really, really familiar. So what we're looking to do is evenly spread your sausage meat all the way along, leaving a little gap this side, obviously a big gap that side. So I'm just going to wash my hands and we'll come back to it. So now we've got our sausage meat on there, nice clean hands, otherwise we'll make the pastry really messy. We've just got some egg yolks in here, so just separate the yolks from the whites. Use your whites for something else. And we're just going to, all the way around, egg wash it. It's going to work like a glue, it's literally like using PVA glue in school to seal our sausage roll. Now what we need to do, without using our hands, got the grease proof underneath. Again, if you've rolled your own pastry out, it will be worth putting it onto grease proof just so you can lift it and move it afterwards, because otherwise it's just going to be really, really flimsy and just not easy to pick up or handle at all. This way we can keep nice, clean, tidy hands. So, using the grease proof, go all the way along, make sure it's lovely and smooth, no air pockets, really tight. That's the first bit, and then we'll put another layer of egg wash, another layer of glue on. And then we do our final turn to there, and then just using the grease proof, make sure you're happy with how smooth you've got it, how even it is. So why I've left this piece here is we're going to use this for our decoration. So we can now cut that piece off and use that later on. We just move our sausage roll down. Right. As this cooks, the sausage meat will expand, a lot of fat will come out, so you can leave, you've got 2 choices. You can fold the edges down, like I've got plenty of room to do that, or you can leave them open and the sausage meat might just burst out the edge a little bit. By sealing them up here, you just compress everything down and make sure you don't lose any size of the sausage roll or create like these air pockets in between, because you could just cut the middle and end up with nothing in there. So that's pretty straightforward. It's all glued, and then just cut around like that. Around like that. Make sure you're happy with how it's sealed, and then completely egg wash the whole thing. So what we're going to do is put one layer on, We're going to wait sort of 3 or 4 minutes and let it set, and then we'll put another layer on so you get a really nice thick egg wash. In between this, you can put it in the fridge, it helps to set it. It's just so we get a lovely glaze when we bake it, and then we'll come back to decorating it with the other bits and pieces. So our egg yolks had a minute or so, a couple of minutes just to set up. So we'll put a second layer on now, so we'll get a lovely thick glaze. While that was going on, I've just cut out some rough shapes for leaves. If you've got any cutters at home, or any shape really, some stars, heart shapes, whatever you've got, you can put along the top. So at this stage, we could obviously bake it, it's ready to go. If we use a fork now and drag it down the sausage roll, we'll get a lovely pattern. So obviously now when it bakes, we have this beautiful scoring, this pattern from the egg yolk to the pastry that's now not got any on. So we could happily put this in the oven now, bake it, and you'll have an awesome effect. Almost like a wood, sort of like knots all over it. So that looks great. But I've got a lattice cutter here. And what this does is cuts loads of lines in the pastry, so then it can open out. And we can put a webbing over the top. You can do this with a knife just by going along and then picking lines and going one line, line, and then in the middle of every single line, do another line. You'll create exactly the same pattern all the way along. So that's quite simple. But then lattice cutters are great, they're not expensive. So if you do have one, or if you can get hold of one. So we'll egg wash this before putting it over the top. So lay it on and then spread the lattice down as we go on both ends. So it's fully covering the sausage roll. Just take it to the end, make sure it's smooth and it's stuck. The egg yolk underneath will obviously help stick it. And then you can just lift it up, tuck it underneath. The ends, they don't matter if they're a little bit messy in comparison to the rest of it, because obviously you're going to be cutting them off when you serve it. So that's lovely. And that is definitely ready to go in the oven now. I've just got a few extra little bits to decorate it. It's got some leaves here that we just cut out of the scrap pastry, so we can just place them on roughly all the way down the sausage roll. Right, so I've just trimmed all the excess paper away from around the edge. That's looking lovely. We've got some thyme here, so we can just pick that down, sprinkle it over the top roughly. You could place it, in all the gaps if you wanted to. But I think it looks fine, just roughly scattered over the top. Obviously, just season the pastry up, give it a lovely aroma as it bakes. It's great to do these the night before as well. So if you're going to make this for Boxing Day, it's great to make it the day before and let it set up in the fridge so it really firms up. It's a lot easier to handle. It does the pastry the world of good, and then bake it straight from the fridge. But this one today we're just going to pop straight in the oven. So we preheat our oven to 180 degrees, and a sausage roll this size is probably going to take around half an hour to 40 minutes. So I'm just going to place this in the oven now for half an hour until the pastry is really golden brown all over and lovely and crisp, and our sausage meat inside will be cooked. So after half an hour in the oven, the sausage roll is done. It's lovely and golden brown all over, really nice and crispy. and that's ready to go with the rest of your festive feast. So hopefully you enjoy the recipes, and I think everyone can do everything on there, and best of luck trying it.